I want to play this video of him triggering some of these MAGA morons with his guitar decked out in his incredible outfit that we will talk about. Just have a listen to some of this stuff. And some of these MAGA morons are so stupid, they started actually singing along with him, to his credit. Just have a watch of this.
I got my first shitty red hat. Bought it at the 5 and dime. Wore until it wore out. It was the summer that Trump did time. Oh, wow. This little Trump insurrection, I'm gonna let it slide. Everybody, this tiny Trump insurrection. Everyone, we're gonna let it slide. This little Trump insurrection, come on, we're gonna let it slide. Let it slide, let it slide. Let it slide. These 40 sex allegations, come on, we're gonna let it slide. Everybody, these 40 sex allegations, come on, we're gonna let them slide. These 40 sex allegations, come on, we're gonna let it slide. Let it slide, let it slide. Let it slide.
Oh my God, I love it. All right, so that legend himself is joining us right now on the show. The man himself, Robbie Roadsteamer, joining us. Robbie, it's
hell yeah, Brian! It's an honor to be here.
You are hilarious, my friend. You are very funny at a time where we're very divided. And first, talk to me a little bit about your getup. How did you come up with this getup? Like, you're wearing the thong. I try not to look at that, but you're wearing a thong and you've got this outfit going when you're singing on the guitar. How did you come up with this outfit?
I mean, it was basically evolution. It was like, I shadowed under another activist for 12 years, Vermin Supreme, boot on his head, promising everybody to get a ponies. But I never brought out the Roadsteamer character until a year and a half ago. And it's been like Bobby Dylan, baby. It's been like the freewheeling Bobby Dylan album. And basically we started off, what you saw on that video was me on the acoustic guitar, singing the MAGA heads while they were waiting in line. And then it evolved. And we realized we didn't have to scream at them through lyrics about the Jeffrey Epstein plane or, basically Trump taking away all our health care and everything. All we had to do was wear a thong. We didn't have to say anything about January 6th. We didn't have to say anything about insurrections. All you have to do is trigger the trans fear inside any of these MAGA heads, because Fox News has all the MAGA weaponized against trans, mass, and migrants. That's it. They don't care about taxing the corporations, national health care, a decent minimum wage, nothing else. They have made trans people the new Adolf Hitler Holocaust all rolled into one. So if you go to a MAGA rally and like 90% of your body is screaming MAGA, you got like the nice MAGA fur vest on, you look wild, you got the Oakley sunglasses, you got the hat. They want to love me, but then they see the whale tail. They see the thong. And I'm telling you, Brian, that the thong elicited more political violence than anything I screamed at them about Jeffrey Epstein or insurrecting the Applebee's. That was
why am I not surprised? Let's go through some of these pranks that you've done. So you were kicked out of CPAC. Can you tell me the song that you were playing and what led up to that at CPAC? Yeah,
I mean, the song was, "Hey, Mr. Tangerine Man, get rid of brown people for me. Every white, there ain't no place I'm going to. Hey, pumpkin spice Satan man, get rid of every race but me. And on that jingly, jangly January 6th, I'll come a pardoning you." And that was the one. And here's the funny part, Brian, because I looked the part down there. They had it at Maryland at a hotel called Gaylord's, which I should have lampooned a lot more and stuff. It was like, They gave me 15 minutes. Like, you watch the long version on YouTube, MAGA doesn't want to throw me out because they know I'm telling the truth. And It's like the security guards are laughing. There's like 10 police down there with dogs, but they don't want to remove me because they know I'm the new Kurt Cobain. They know that counterculture art is going to come back in a couple of months to a seismic level of earthquake. It happens every 30 years. We had Seattle, we had grunge, we had Nirvana, and that's when we were trying to romanticize Bill Clinton, you know, the rock and roll president, saxophone, Arsenio Hall, MTV Rock the Vote. And then 30 years before that, you know, we were in trouble too. You know, Lyndon Johnson sent 50,000 of our men to Vietnam. Kennedy was killed. Martin Luther King was killed. Who was there to take the baton until the politicians got their crap together, which they never did, but art. And that's what's going to happen again. Haight-Ashbury, Seattle. And this time around, I think it's going to be political activism, counterculture comedy.
I agree. The thing that's so interesting, Robbie, is that you're very funny and you make a lot of people laugh, but as you said, you're also very factually accurate. Let's talk a little bit about the Tesla prank that you did not that long ago, where you go into a Tesla wearing like the thong, and you go in there with a megaphone. I don't know if you could sing a little bit for us about what you were doing, but it's very funny and it went viral. Go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, basically, I'm taking these guys down like, I wouldn't say Clint Eastwood because he's a MAGA himself and stuff.
Yes.
You know, like, I'm taking them down like the Doc Holliday, one by one. I got Hulk Hogan twice last year.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, you know, the time I had to dress up as a bear. And I got Marjorie Taylor Greene, Rudy Giuliani.
Wait, hold on. Let's start with Marjorie Taylor Greene because I don't want to leave any of this out. You were commenting on her legs, right? You were like 2 feet away from her. What were you saying to her?
Well, it's funny because for 6 months, a couple of years ago, I went MAGA as a joke. And I accumulated 25,000 followers on Facebook in 3 months because I was like, lock AOC up in Guantanamo Bay. And, you know, I had a lot of middle-aged women in the Midwest giving me a lot of dirty Venmo, PayPal. And so I had this obsession with Marjorie Taylor Greene. And I'm like, I love Marjorie Taylor Greene. She's got strong horse legs. And I had this song that I had been singing for years, which is by a singer called Mink DeVille, late 70s, and it was called Savoir Faire. And the original was like, she's got style, she's got grace, she's got a terrible face, but she's got Savoir Faire. So I took Savoir Faire, I inserted horse legs, and I had, she's got style, she's got grace, you put those liberals in their place, but she's got strong horse legs. Man.
I saw that video. You're literally 2 feet from her, so she clearly heard you.
And then boyfriend. I'm telling you now,
her boyfriend's the worst. He's the worst.
The only reason why she got Brian Glenn was because we Dealey Plaza'd her ass in New Hampshire. That took place in New Hampshire. And if you look at the background, you see Vermin Supreme running behind her like the second shooter. It was a military-style troll bush from start to finish, man. And like she came out, she had just done an interview with Steve Bannon, who I also got.
Yes, she did.
She was running out, and Vermin first comes at her. He's like, Marjorie, and leads her right to the grassy knoll where I'm like, I want to sing a song to her.
It was great. Okay, we'll get to Steve Bannon quickly on Rudy Giuliani. So you find Rudy Giuliani, he's walking into a car gingerly, and you give him these stickers. Can you tell me PG-13 what the stickers said? And he took them too.
Make America poopy again, but it's not poopy. It rhymes with pretty. Make America. And it's like a callback to getting attitude in this country. Man. I'm tired of centrist Democrats leading down comfortable people road instead of what we need to do on the left, like Bernie and AOC, to get some balls again. So I agree. I made this attitude about being punk, and we were seeing Rudy at the Manchester, New Hampshire. He was at an SUV, and once again, Vermin Supreme was with me. I went up to his car, and I saw her, and I'm like, oh, my God. And I'm like, Rudy, take these stickers. Give them to the gang, man. Make America again. and Vermin came up, and while Vermin was distracting Rudy, I stickered Rudy Giuliani's SUV. You can see it. I put like 3 "Make America Shh Again" stickers on it.
I love it. Oh, I love it. Now, Steve Bannon had just gotten out of jail. He holds his press conference, and somehow you're able to be right there front and center to ask a question. And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Robbie, you asked him, when's going to be the next Burger King insurrection?
And I'm taking off the airplane pillow for this one, Brian. I'm telling you right now. But basically, I was going to get Steve at prison the night before in Danbury. And then I had a couple of heads up from some cool activists, including that Anarchy Princess, Mike Picard, Professional Douche. And I found out that he was at the Park Avenue. He was going to make a press conference out of it at a hotel over there, the Lowell's Regency. And so we went down to Manhattan. I was just expecting to protest out front. I go there. There's only 2 MAGA dudes out front and stuff. I'm like, oh, this is going to be miserable. I'm from Boston, Massachusetts. I just drove like 5 hours to get down there. You know, I was like, oh, this isn't a good look and stuff. So I went up to these guys because I was in a red suit and I pretended I was MAGA. I'm like, hey, where's the party, bros? And they're like, get inside right now. They're taking people upstairs to the press conference. And literally like an 80s movie, I go right inside and they're like, is there anybody else for still photography? And I went up and I'm like, yeah, I'm with Tim Pool. And it just turned out, it so happened to turn out that Tim was taking a personal leave that week, probably scared about the election or something. And so, like, I went up into the elevator and I was there for 30 minutes with a bunch of scumbags and maggots swimming like fear and loathing in the center of Mount Doom. And they almost got wind of me. Like, the guys who took me out, one of them actually came up and stuff. And he's like, can we talk to you for a second? And I pretty much yelled, I'm live streaming for Tim Pool right now. And they jumped a mile back. And so that's why I think Steve Bannon gave me extra time, which threw me for like, what the heck? You know, I stand up and I'm like, Steve, Robbie Roadsteamer here. I want to know, buddy, when's the next insurrection? Or can we storm a Burger King after this? And I thought they were going to take me down like Jack Ruby, but instead he's like smiling.
Yes.
And his handlers behind him laughing. And I'm like, I guess I'll improvise here. You don't remember me, dude? We were in Danbury together. Doesn't he look great? We were lifting weights together, man. And then they started to catch wind. They pulled me out. And then I said, he looks like Yoda with AIDS. And that nationally on Twitter. That, like, I don't trend on Twitter, but that trended on Twitter now.
Oh, your videos are incredible. If you're just joining us, he's Robbie Roadsteamer, professional comedian, prankster. You got to check out his videos, and we're going to talk about his YouTube page. He's great. I got a couple more I want to talk to you about. So you pranked Hulk Hogan twice. Now, your voice, you remind me of somebody from like the WWF in the 80s, right? You talk sometimes like a Hulk Hogan. You got that very deep, distinguished voice. So explain to me how this works. Somehow you get in this place where he's taking pictures and signing autographs with fans. Take me through this because it's hilarious.
I'm up in New England. I love wrestling. This was a hard one. I actually lived with China. You see that tattoo right there.
Oh, I did not know that.
WWE. And,
wow.
You know, I love wrestling. And we found out that Hulk Hogan was hawking beer, real American beer, brother, up at liquor stores around New England, like worse. Like, I know that they're all offended by the Bud Light Rainbow can and stuff, but like they have brought it to epic proportions where Hulk Hogan tried to think of a beer to supplement. And so he visited a liquor store in Coventry, Rhode Island, and that's where I first hit him. And I went in, and, you know, let's be honest, if I can cut, you know, the talking for a second, I am Macho Man Randy Savage when I do the character. And it's like, you know what? This is a match made in heaven. So I go in there and I made a MAGA Powers shirt, which he stole the idea. And then a month later, he's on Fox News talking about the MAGA Powers. And he goes up and it's like Star Wars. And he's like Darth Vader and I'm Luke Skywalker. And I go up, he sees the MAGA shirt and his eyes widen. I'm like, look at this shirt, man, the MAGA Powers. And you hear Hogan, MAGA Powers. And I'm like, what are they going to do, dude? Will we drop the big boot on trans people? Will we drop the big boot on Social Security, and he starts his eyes widen, and he's looking for the police who are mysteriously his paid bodyguards. Coventry, Rhode Island, what's happening down there? And they grab me, and I start yelling, Trump is a real felon. Then he went to Epstein Island, fight for alt-right, fight for alt-right. And that's his theme song that I did a remix on, and they pulled me off. And a week later, I dressed up as a bear, and I did it again up in scenic Medford, Massachusetts at a liquor store called Cappy's.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't some MAGA moron and Hulk fan follow you like into a Starbucks afterwards or something?
Like, look at this video and stuff. It is not just a MAGA moron. I think it's the guy who owns Real American Beer with Hogan. He's at every one of his events. And I could just tell that after the first one, Hogan yelled at these guys like, what are you doing, brother? You can't let this guy near me again, man. I can't get trolled like that at this point, man. And so, like, this guy let it happen again because I was in line dressed as a bear, and like my camera girl, Jess God, who's incredible. She's like, everybody, it's Bobby Bear. And I'm like waving and stuff. And like, as soon as it happens again, you can actually hear him right at the beginning of the video go, oh, shh, you know, and he like loses it because he realizes it's happening again. He follows me across the street to a Starbucks. And this is the thing. He thinks he's going to get Robbie Roadsteamer triggered lunatic. And instead he gets me underneath and he starts going, yeah, man, you dressed like a bear. What's up with that? I'm like, who cares, dude? Like, you represent like a guy who did a 5-minute sex tape. Go back across the street. There's other bears probably over there.
I saw that. Yeah.
It's like I completely get out of character, throw it a curveball, and yeah, but that's the head of Real American Beer right there that went over.
You know, what I love about what you do, and there are others that you had mentioned that are very talented as well, is that what you're doing is very similar to like I would compare it a little bit, and you tell me if you disagree, to like Borat, in a sense that he makes fun of them and they look like complete fools for their racism, their bigotry, their anti-Semitism, and you throw it right at them, and it just makes them look like the fools and the idiots that they are, and you're just throwing it at them. You're using their own material.
No, that's absolutely. And I think Borat, I am not going to distance myself. I think it's incredible art from Sacha Cohen and stuff. And I mean, that's the way I think we need to go. And I like what Walter Masterson's doing and stuff.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's good. Yeah, he's good.
And, you know, like you said before, the good liars. But I think where I'm different from even them and stuff is I'm willing to get handcuffed and beaten and pulled away. I'm like the Gigi Allen and Punk of doing it because I don't give them enough rope to hang themselves with and do interviews, you know, dressed up as MAGA and interview them. From the very beginning, they pretty much know it's war. And that's what I like about it, because around Massachusetts, the reason why I think I'm getting a lot of love around here is because we have a strong punk rock movement with the Dropkick Murphys, who recently, I'm friends with Ken Casey, the lead singer, had their own problems, you know, making fun of a MAGA guy at a concert and you know, controversy on Twitter and stuff. And it's like there's this circle of, I feel, real maverick punks that I feel like, dude, once again, Brian, needs to be the answer to these beta cuck centrist Democrats that pretty much stole the election away from Bernie Sanders. Let's not lie to ourselves, man. We have not had a legitimate primary for the Democrats since Obama's first term. Second term, he ran unopposed. 2016, super delegates with Hillary Clinton. 2020, after Biden came in fourth in New Hampshire, Obama made phone calls. Elizabeth Warren dropped out. Pete dropped out. Amy from Minnesota dropped out or whatnot, and they all turned immediately to Biden and turned on Sanders, to the point where Elizabeth Warren said, oh, he said that women shouldn't be president, right at the same time.
Right.
And then in 2024, Biden runs unopposed. So we have had 4 complete cycles of not letting the progression of the American people take hold.
See, I agree with you, and that's what's so unique. I'm not saying that every prankster is not informed, but you are extremely informed and very educated, the opposite of what your typical MAGA Republican would be. Have you ever been, I wanted to ask you, Robbie, have you ever been, you've said you're not afraid to get arrested and stuff. What would you say? You've pulled a lot of pranks. What is the most dangerous situation you've ever been in can you share with us? Like something where you maybe were even in fear of your life.
There's a couple. I mean, the Steve Bannon one, even though I'm a charmer, like, you know, the difference between me and a typical activist is I'm not leading with emotions and daddy issues. I'm not screaming, what's your name and badge number? You're letting Hitler destroy. You know, I'm like, hey,
Right.
bro, are there any hors d'oeuvres or anything, dude? You know, it's like underneath, man, I'm a dork. I'm a nerd, and I love to get along with people, and I can charm the living crap out of you. Jess said about the Bannon thing, she thought I was about to get shot by the handlers. She was real afraid about that. But the scariest one had to be Donald Trump at Madison Square Garden. And I was meeting up with Walter Masterson there, and there was like thousands of MAGA heads waiting in line behind these like steel dividing gates. And for some reason, there was nobody on the other side of the dividers. So I just went over there and started teeing off on a megaphone. And I sang this song making, what was it, Bob Marley? Is this woke? Is this woke that I'm feeling? I want to love the trans just like they were white. I want to love trans every day. And this one guy, when I started to get into the chorus, like, is this woke? Is this woke? Is this woke? He grabs his backhand and he goes up and he slaps the megaphone, or tries to, out of my hand. And he yells, shut the, you know, and whatnot up. And, you know, he full on slaps the megaphone. He can't get it out of my hands because I have vice grip. I do those wrist strengtheners and stuff. You know, but it was scary. And then he was trying to get over like the rails to try to get at me. You can see on Walter Masterson's feed from Madison Square Garden, he's with another guy that's ready to like just go toe to toe. And Walter actually steps in as like this straight guy. He's like, so what's happening over here with this Robbie Roadsteamer guy? Is he triggering you? And no, I've had other MAGA rallies where women hit me with, it's mostly the women. Like the women hit me with flagpoles, they kick me in the kneecaps. They one of them one time in Waltham, which is next door to me, said I showed my penis like Jim Morrison and stuff. And I literally heard her on the phone. I'm like, hey, you can see this on my YouTube, you know, just Roadsteamer Waltham. But I'm like, did you really just say that? Like, it's not that lady.
Oh my God. I mean, you just have so many great stories. I love what you do. I know you just mentioned your YouTube. Can you give out a little bit more of the information, how people can follow you and watch your stuff? Because I think you're great. I think you are hilarious. And I just love it how you put these MAGAs in their place and just use their own stupidity on them. How can people follow you, Robbie? And how can people watch what you do and follow you?
I'm on all platforms. Just look up my last name, Roadsteamer. You know, road you drive on, carpet steamer, Robbie Roadsteamer. Doesn't matter if you butcher it, you will get to it. And yeah, no, I mean, we're turning out the videos like ticker tape and stuff, and we're having a great time. You know, I also last month stormed the Proud Boys on Capitol Hill. They decided to have an anniversary where they literally walked the press around on the front lawn of the Capitol and showed them where they actually entered the Capitol. And I went there with the Beatles, like, let me take you down, because I'm going to the Proud Boys in D.C. They shouldn't be. The Proud Boys are pedophiles and felons.
Actually, they are. You're right about that. Robbie, I love what you do. The problem is, if you're going to pull another prank, we can't have you on before because that'll ruin it. So maybe after another one of your videos go viral, we would love to have you back. I love what you do. You are great. By the way, I'm a huge Celtics fan. I grew up in Connecticut, not too far from where you're at. I love my East Coasters, and you are awesome and great what you do.
And I will say this, dude, that like when I wear my suit, every time I wear my Len Bias jersey underneath Maryland.
Oh, I love that. The late, great Len Bias, who never was able to play games for the Boston Celtics. Well, my friend, you come out to
like the progressives.
Right. You come out to Las Vegas, I will gladly assist you in any way I can. So just
CPAC they have out there, or anything that has to do with MAGA, dude. Let's team up like Fear and Loathing and stuff, man. I love that.
I'm in. It would be an honor, my friend. Thank you so much for coming on. Love to have you on again down the road. You are great, and we will catch up with you soon. Thank you so much for the time, my friend. I appreciate you.
Love you, King. Take care.
All right, you take care. That's the legend himself, Robbie Roadsteamer.